Hello friends, in this class we will learn about hormonal contraceptives. Contraception is the deliberate use of methods or techniques to prevent pregnancy. The various contraceptive methods include hormonal contraceptives, intrauterine devices, then barrier methods, natural methods, sterilization or surgical methods. But in this class we will focus on hormonal contraceptives. So the hormonal contraceptives are the hormonal preparations used for reversible suppression of fertility. It can be achieved either in females or in males. But in males it is quite difficult because majority of drugs will cause impotence, which is unacceptable, and also there is long latent period because spermatogenesis will take about 64 days. While in females it is more convenient, it can be achieved as long as desired with almost 100% efficacy, and there is complete return of fertility on discontinuation. Hence, female hormonal contraceptives are more popular compared to male hormonal contraceptives. Now, according to routes of administration, female hormonal contraceptives are divided into oral, injectable intramuscularly, subcutaneous and intrauterine implants, then intravaginal ring and transdermal patch. Out of all, the oral contraceptive pills are widely prescribed because of their convenience, efficacy, low cost, as well as overall safety. The oral contraceptive pills are classified into combined estrogen plus progestin, subdivided into monophasic, biphasic and triphasic pills, then progesterone only or mini pills, and postcoital or emergency contraceptive pills. The combined pills are most popular and most efficacious, commonly available as calendar packs, which include 21 pills containing estrogen plus progestin and 7 iron tablets. So in monophasic combined pills, both estrogen and progesterone are given in fixed dose for 21 days per cycle with 7 days gap, during which the woman will be taking the iron tablets. The estrogen commonly prescribed is ethinyl estradiol in the dose of 20, 30 or 50 micrograms, wherein 30 is considered as optimum, 50 micrograms are required in obese female, and 20 micrograms are recommended in women with more than 40 years of age or with cardiovascular risk factor. The role of progestin is to ensure prompt withdrawal bleeding during 7 days gap period and to prevent risk of endometrial carcinoma due to estrogen. So remember, progestin prompt bleeding and prevents risk of endometrial carcinoma. The 19 nortestosterone derivatives of progesterone are used for contraception because of potent anti-ovulatory action, like norethindrone 0.3 mg, the commonly used levonorgestrel 0.1, 0.15 or 0.25 mg or desogestrel 0.15 mg, etc. In biphasic and triphasic combined pills, the estrogen is constant or only slightly varied between 30 to 40 micrograms, but progesterone is given in increasing doses. Like in biphasic, lower dose of progesterone is given for first 10 days, and from 11th to 21 days, higher dose of progesterone is given. While in triphasic, low dose in first 6 days, from 7 to 11 days, the dose is increased, and from 12th to 21 days, again the dose of progesterone is increased. For example, levonorgestrel in the dose of 0.5 mg, 0.75 mg and 1.25 mg in 3 phases. The advantage of biphasic or triphasic pills over monophasic pills is that there is decreased risk of breakthrough bleeding. Breakthrough bleeding or spotting is abnormal bleeding which occurs in between the menstrual cycle during 21 days of combined pills. When bleeding occurs during the 7 days gap, it is known as withdrawal bleeding and it is normal. But if bleeding occurs before 7 days gap, it is abnormal and may occur mainly due to continuous progesterone. So in case of bi or triphasic pills, progesterone dose is progressively increased to mimic the normal hormonal pattern, which reduces the chances of breakthrough bleeding. Hence, these phased pills are recommended for women having breakthrough bleeding, more so in more than 35 years of age, or even in whom the withdrawal bleeding is not occurring. The next is progestin only pills, also known as mini pills, in which the low dose progesterone only is given continuously without any break, but the efficacy is lower up to 98% as compared to combined pills, in which up to 99.9% of efficacy can be obtained. The progestin only pills are used when estrogen is contraindicated, like venous thrombosis, endometrial carcinoma, etc. The last type in oral contraceptive pills is postcoital or emergency pill. This is also known as morning after pill. One of the commonly used drugs is levonorgestrel 0.75 mg 12 hourly for 2 doses or 1.5 mg single dose within 72 hours of unprotected coitus. In earlier USP method, levonorgestrel 0.5 mg was recommended with ethinyl estradiol 0.1 mg 12 hourly for 2 doses, which is exactly as double dose of oxypill known as oral. But levonorgestrel alone is preferred because with USP regimen, vomiting was noted in about 20 to 50% of cases, while with levonorgestrel alone, it is about only 6%. The other drugs used as emergency contraceptives are ulipristal and mifepristone. Ulipristal is a selective progesterone receptor modulator which is given in the dose of 30 mg single dose within 120 hours. And the failure rates are also lower, about 1 to 3% as compared to levonorgestrel 2 to 4%. And mifepristone is an antiprogestin mainly used in medical termination of pregnancy. For emergency contraception, it can be utilized in the dose of 600 mg single dose within 72 hours. Coming to injectable hormonal contraceptives, these are used intramuscularly as oily solution and they are used only under close supervision. The long-acting progestin alone is used, like depot-medroxyprogesterone acetate 150 mg deep intramuscularly during first 5 days of menstrual cycle and repeated every 3 months, or norethindrone enanthrate 200 mg which is repeated every 2 months. The disadvantages or adverse effects of injectable hormonal contraceptives include menstrual irregularities or even complete disruption of menstrual cycle or amenorrhea. So these are not suitable for adolescent girls or in lactating mothers. Also, there is increased risk of breast carcinoma in young women. So because of these complications, this should be used only under close supervision. The return of fertility after discontinuation will also take longer duration of about 6 to 30 months. Especially DMPA can decrease the bone mineral density, and other adverse effects like menopause like symptoms including hot flush, then weight gain or headache can also occur. The implants are drug delivery systems usually administered subcutaneously from which the hormone is released over 1 to 5 years. Some common implants available in the market include Norplant, which contains levonorgestrel given subcutaneously and can act up to 5 years, which is the longest acting amongst subcutaneous implants. Another is Capranor, which is the biodegradable implant. Then Progestazert is an intrauterine implant containing levonorgestrel 52 mg, which is released over 5 years. But the efficacy of intrauterine progestazert is lower. Recently, vaginal rings are available which act locally. For example, ethinyl estradiol plus segesterone. This ring is reusable for up to 1 year. Then hormonal transdermal patches are also available like ethinyl estradiol plus norelgestromin to be applied once weekly for 3 weeks with 1 week gap. The mechanism of action of female hormonal contraceptives include first and foremost suppression of ovulation. This is one of the most significant mechanism in case of combined estrogen plus progestin. Usually, estrogen given in exogenous doses decreases FSH secretion while progesterone decreases LH secretion by negative feedback inhibition, and both of them synergize to decrease LH surge so that ovulation is suppressed. The second mechanism by progesterone is making the cervical secretion thick, viscous and acidic so that it becomes hostile for conception. This is the important mechanism in progestin only pills. The third mechanism of hormonal contraceptives is failure to implant even if ovulation or conception has been occurred, because the endometrium is out of phase, so it is not suitable for nidation means implantation. This is the important mechanism in case of postcoital or emergency pills. The other mechanisms include uterine or tubal contractions modification by progestin and dislodging a just implanted blastocyst by postcoital pill. Now certain points of practical considerations. The return of fertility after discontinuation of oxypills usually occurs within 1 to 2 months, and there are chances of developing multiple pregnancies, especially during first 2-3 cycles after discontinuation of oxypills. Important point: if a woman misses to take one tablet, then it is advised to take 2 tablets on the next day. But if 2 or more tablets are missed, then the oxypill course should be interrupted and the alternative method should be advised. And the next course can be again started on next month. If a woman on OC pills becomes pregnant, it is a contraceptive failure and it is recommended to terminate the pregnancy because of risk of malformations in fetus, like in female offspring, risk of genital carcinoma, and in male offsprings, risk of undescended testes. If breakthrough bleeding occurs during the first 21 days of the course, then the estrogen dose should be increased. Note that estrogen increases HDL cholesterol and decreases LDL cholesterol, but progesterone nullifies this beneficial effect of estrogen. So ultimately, minimal change on lipid profile. Adverse effects of oral contraceptive pills. The earlier adverse effects within 1 to 3 cycles include nausea and vomiting, a common adverse effect of estrogen, then headache, and if a woman is already having a migraine, it can be worsened during the first few cycles of OC pills. Breakthrough bleeding or spotting mainly due to progestin, then breast discomfort or mastalgia. The delayed or later adverse effects include weight gain, acne, increase in body hair, then chloasma means pigmentation on forehead and cheek like during pregnancy. Then pruritus vulva, carbohydrate intolerance only in high doses, mood changes and depression mainly due to progestin. The serious adverse effects can be venous thrombosis or pulmonary embolism, coronary and cerebral thrombosis, and thereby myocardial infarction and stroke respectively. More so with high doses or in women with more than 35 years of age or diabetic, hypertensive or smoking. The venous complication mainly occurs because of estrogen, while arterial complication occurs because of both estrogen as well as progestin. Increase in blood pressure is also noted in 5 to 10% of females, in which the OC pills should be stopped. There is role of both estrogen as well as progestin causing increased level of renin and angiotensin responsible for hypertension. Increased chances of cervical or vaginal cancer, especially in predisposed cases like positive family history also. There is also minor increased risk of breast carcinoma. Then benign hepatoma may become malignant or even rupture, and gallstones because estrogen increases biliary cholesterol secretion on long-term basis. Contraindications of OC pills include thromboembolic, coronary or cerebrovascular diseases, moderate to severe hypertension, active liver disease or jaundice, malignancy mainly genital or breast carcinoma, porphyria, and impending major surgery. So, estrogen should be stopped before 4 weeks of planned surgery. Important drug-drug interactions leading to contraceptive failure. When OC pills are used concurrently with enzyme inducers like rifampicin, phenytoin, etc. Suppose a female is on OC pills course and simultaneously develops tuberculosis and starts taking rifampicin included regimen. Now rifampicin is a powerful enzyme inducer which will induce the metabolism of hormones and contraceptive failure may occur. Second, suppression of intestinal microflora with broad spectrum antibiotics like tetracycline. There is decreased estrogen deconjugation in intestine, so enterohepatic circulation of estrogen will be reduced and thereby decreased blood level. So in these cases, the dose of estrogen in OC pills should be increased to 50 micrograms. Alternative method should be advised, especially while taking rifampicin. Apart from prevention of unwanted pregnancy, the other health benefits of OC pills are reduction in blood loss and anemia, and if the menstrual cycle is irregular, it becomes regular. Reduced incidence of endometrial or ovarian or even colon cancer are noted. Reduced chances of endometriosis, pelvic inflammatory diseases, fibrocystic breast disease, and ovarian cyst. Also, there is decreased chances of ectopic pregnancy and reduced osteoporosis because estrogen is protective against bone resorption. We can remember this by one mnemonic, other benefits. O for ovarian cyst, B for blood loss and anemia, then ectopic pregnancy, neoplasia, endometrial, ovarian or colon cancer, endometriosis, fibrocystic breast disease, inflammatory conditions like pelvic inflammatory disease, tension, reduction in premenstrual syndrome, and if the cycles are irregular, they becomes regular. S for skeletal, prevention of osteoporosis and fractures. Ormeloxifene, also known as centchromen. It is a non-steroidal selective estrogen receptor modulator which was developed at Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow, India. It is estrogen antagonist in uterus and breast. The half-life of ormeloxifene is about 1 week. It is also used as oral contraceptive. Its contraceptive action is due to uteroembryonic asynchrony and failure of implantation. For contraception, the dosage is 30 mg twice weekly for 12 weeks, followed by once weekly weekly as long as desired. Ormeloxifene is also approved for dysfunctional uterine bleeding, for which it is given 60 mg twice weekly for 12 weeks, followed by 60 mg once weekly for 12 weeks. Its adverse effects are nausea, headache, fluid retention, weight gain, increase in blood pressure, and it prolongs the menstrual cycle. So this was all about female hormonal contraceptives. Now in male hormonal contraceptives, many of the groups are tried but with less success. The anti-androgens cause loss of libido, androgens having poor efficacy, estrogen plus progestin may cause feminization, GnRH analogs cause loss of libido. The cytotoxic drugs like cadmium, nitrofurans are not recommended because they are toxic. Gossypol is non-steroidal compound obtained from cotton seeds. The advantage of gossypol is that it does not cause loss of libido or impotence. Its mechanism of action involves direct toxicity on seminiferous epithelium, and important adverse effect is hypokalemia and thereby muscle weakness or even paralysis. So with this we conclude the today's topic. Thanks for watching.